Good morning. Welcome. It is Thursday, August 13th, and we are 90 days out from November 11th, or Veterans Day, as it were. The DTD2 this week. You continue calling your Fs and your Gs, and you're texting your Ys. It is Thursday, and once a month on Thursday, being today, we do orientation. You'll notice we used to call it new agent orientation. We don't call it that anymore because we had people that were joining from other brokerages, and they're like, "Well, I'm not a new agent." It's orientation for KWCLM. If you joined a while ago and you're like, "Hey, you know what? I could probably go sit in that thing and learn something," then you can join us today for sure. We obviously do have people registered. We obviously are going to feed those people. But again, if you do show up unannounced today, we'll have enough food because we always have enough food because that's how we roll. Nobody's starving to death, that's for sure. So that's on the books for today. So Thursday, we're out of here in just a little bit, and we're heading into either lead generation, which is KWBreakthroughClub.com, KWBreakthroughClub.com, or you can just click the link. It takes you into a Zoom room where people are in there and they're talking to their people, they're texting their people, they're working on marketing, doing whatever you feel the need to do to make sure that you're having enough conversations to get to enough appointments. Wait for it. To sign enough agreements, to close enough deals, to satisfy your goals, right? That's all it boils down to. Are you having enough conversations to put yourself into enough opportunities to serve enough people? And we're well beyond halftime. That was July 1st. July 1st was halftime. We just said it. We're 90 days out from November 11th. September 1st, I'll let you figure it out, is December 1st. And then October 1st, at that point, you're working on next year's business. And it's not that it all doesn't matter. Like, you're still doing 2026 business, as it were, but you're doing activities that are going to garner you results probably after the first of the year. So you might say to yourself, well, why would I bother doing that? If anything I do after October 1st, math magically might not affect my 2026. Is that why people sort of pull their feet off the gas, and fall tends to be a time that, quote unquote, things slow down? I mean, I would disagree vehemently. If you look at the Lakes region, you look at some of the places in which we serve, you get a lot of properties that are about to be done being in use, right? A lot of conversations last Thanksgiving with families that told the rest of their family, your father and I are going to South Carolina, and we need the proceeds from the sale of the lake house to go buy our house in Myrtle Beach or Hilton Head or the Low Country or North Kakalaka, South Kakalaka, Florida, wherever your favorite old people are going to play golf and eat Krispy Kreme and wander off into the final sunset. If that conversation took place last Chicken Giving and they told the kids this is the last summer in the lake house, well, that's coming up, right? You know, whether you're talking about actual, you know, the beginning of fall, the autumnal change, which is September 21st-ish, or we're talking about what people recognize in this country, Labor Day weekend. That's coming up quick. What are we, 3 weeks away from that? And you'll see it if you live on the lake. If you live in the Lakes region, there'll be a sign in the yard by the street, and they'll well, if they're pulling the dock up before the freeze, but if they might be throwing it on the dock right now. You're out in the boat, and you're like, oh, look, because they're going to put a sign in the backyard too, so the boats going by can see it. Q4 in a vast part of our footprint is huge. Tons of movement. And if the people that you know and love and trust were moving for school system, they're going to still move for school system. They might have wanted to do it in July. August could be cutting it close. But if they really want the kids in a certain school system, they'll move their kid into a certain school system on Tuesday, November 13th at 10:30 in the morning. because it's important to them. Not to mention, if you think to yourself, well, why would I be working really hard in the fourth quarter if it's not going to affect my 2026? Because it's going to directly affect how you start your 2027. And agents all over the marble will tell you, yeah, first quarter just seems to be slow. Again, speaking for up here, not speaking for the nation. What were you doing 90 days ago, right? We can always talk about 90 days out. We can say it's November 11th in 90 days. Today's activities will affect closing tables November 11th for you. But when you get into that first quarter and you're like, you can wind it all the way back and be like, oh, you know what? 90 days ago was right after Chicken Giving. And every year between Chicken Giving and Christmas or Chicken Giving and Hanukkah or whatever, you have a lot of agents. They just pull their foot off the gas. And it's not that you have to have the foot and the pedal slammed to the floor all the time. It's not hard accelerate, hard brake, hard accelerate, hard brake. It's cruise control. What are you doing consistently every day? No matter the weather, no matter the holidays. Our agents will have some of their biggest, most productive, most positive conversations during the holidays. And I know sometimes we're headed to the family holiday and it's Chicken Giving or Christmas or Hanukkah. And you're like, yeah, you know, I hope Uncle Ted doesn't bring up politics. I hope Aunt Martha doesn't start talking about religion. And it's usually different with your family, right? Because all of that stuff comes up around the dinner table. God, I hope nobody brings up real estate. Because I'll feel inclined to have to open my mouth, and I don't want to seem pushy in front of my family. You're not being pushy in front of your family. If you're the only real estate professional at the table, in the house, in the family, you should speak up to defend the industry that we've chosen to guide, not to mention defend your business in front of the people that care about you most, that might not understand it. So do I expect you to be on the phones Christmas morning? No. But when you get to Nana's house in the afternoon for dinner or dessert and real estate comes up or somebody in your family says, hey, so you're doing real estate now. How's that? What's your answer going to be? How are you going to defend what you're doing in the industry in which you do it on December 25th this year at Nana's house? So it can have a positive correlation for you. Work with me. January, February, March, right? Because that'll be a March 25th. That'll be the 1st of April. A conversation at Nana's house on Christmas Day will affect how your spring looks. So we might not be on the phone for these high holidays, but we're with people. Real estate will come up. And it's going to matter how we react and inform in those moments. Like somebody who doesn't want to bother their family or be salesy in front of your Aunt Julie. Said with love, grow up. Because if your cousin was selling Leah Sophia, she'd start spouting off about it. And Lord knows we all have enough of that. And I come from a background where I lived it. My mom, Shirley, still technically a Mary Kay lady, right? She doing it the way she used to do it? No. But she's still active, still has product, still has some people that call her for stuff. My friend across the street, Matty DeVoe, his mom, Tupperware. They carried garage full of inventory. Like I grew up around it. And not once did I feel like Mrs. DeVoe was pushing hermetically sealed plastic containers on the rest of the neighborhood. It was just the business that she ran, and we respected her for it. And people trusted my mom and Maddie's mom. And that's how they did their sales. And they were both wildly successful because they never felt like they were bothering anybody. So think about the conversations that you might be missing. Think about the question you might not be asking. You've always heard me say, ask great questions, take great notes, have honest conversations. And people always say, Timmy, what's a great question? It's the next one. Stay curious. Let them keep talking. Let them prophesize what they want for themselves and their loved ones. I promise you, you're overthinking it. And I guarantee you, no one in your life will be offended when you overdo it, when you overdeliver, when you ask another question about them and their goals and their motivations and their loved ones and their future and their wants. No one's ever going to walk away from an interaction with you in which you made them the star of the show and be annoyed. The people who speak the most will feel the meeting went the best. And you have a chance to do that every time you interact with somebody. Simply by being present, by asking great questions, and by listening to what they say. Not worrying about what they'll say next. Our scripting and our conversation blueprints aren't designed to help us combat the people we are around. It's to help us listen and serve the people that we are around. So use those to your benefit to be the servant in this industry that you want to be. And if you're currently underwhelmed by the amount of appointments or agreements or conversations that you've had, let's work on that number. We can do that today. You're going into Breakthrough Club to work on your conversations, work on your business. We'll talk about the results of that at noontime with the Midday Protocol. Some of you are coming for orientation today. That is all day here in Portsmouth in person. Starts at 9. Jason will have you wrapped up through all the paperwork and the contracts probably around 3:30. It is a full day. We feed you, like I said, and then at 3 o'clock every Thursday, we've got tech onboarding with KT Temple, our Market Center tech trainer. 3 o'clock is 101 with contacts, websites, and apps. 102 starts at 3:30 with smart plans. 103 starts at 4 o'clock with opportunities. And we wrap it up at 4:30 with onboarding 104. It is Lone Wolf. It is 60 minutes. The links for all of these, the links for everything is in the morning news. That hit your inbox at 7:15 this morning. We are blessed to be in business with you. And someone out there can't wait to be in business with you. The challenge is it's incumbent upon us and our ability to step out of our comfort zone, put ourselves in the pathway of conversation to find these people that we've been threatening to serve since we got our license. So ask yourself a simple question. 2, actually. What do you and your loved ones deserve? And what are you waiting for? Have a great day.